Let's see. All right. I'll give us a brief little kind of try to get us into the world, and then I'll turn it over all to you all to describe who we see. But the ancient and narrow pass that runs through the mountain like an axe gash is where you find yourself. Uh, these steep slopes are covered in snow and snow-laden peaks, um, and the clouds are a heavy veil. Somewhere beyond that blanketed fluff lies the misty veil. This legendary place where the empires of old stored their wealth and their magical artifacts. It is the rumor of these treasures that has brought you here, these vast riches and arcane secrets hidden amongst ruins on the other side of the mountain. And you are not the first to be lured by such temptations. No. Since the orcs started to leave the area about a decade ago, a growing stream of settlers and adventurers have made their way to the Misty Vale. But you know the way is treacherous and it's fraught with peril, and the old imperial roads have crumbled, and the mountain is teeming with danger. And the Drakkar Pass is where you find yourself now. And you're starting to understand why this place is called the Misty Vale, because it seems to, you have it, while it's not dreadful or it's not the same sorrow, it doesn't create a kind of depression, but it is kind of always gray and always kind of misty, and mist lingers in the distance, always making every new area of the mountain pass or of the land that you find another wonder to behold with your eyes. This pass is particularly infamous, and the dwarves of the Kumar Mountains have warned the humans, have warned that the humans' return has attracted brigands of ravenous beasts to the area. So that is where you find yourself. And as we kind of like slowly pan down and push in on the rugged, cold terrain, we begin to see our group of adventurers. And as we push in, before we turn it over to you all, I'll kind of start us with a little something that kind of like helps us see and visualize the world as we open with our Dragon Bane for this evening. So welcome to Dragon Bane. That is essentially just Free League's trailer that I just ripped. But if I was ever to use it again, I would actually put like a nice title card instead of the Kickstarter there. But just kind of like figured I'd share that as it gives you. And so there on the mountain pass, we see our adventurers. And I know I'm just going to roll, I'm going to make it random about who likes to introduce their character first. We don't have that awkward pause. And I'm going to roll a D4 or D3 and go by who I see on my screen in terms of 1, 2. So starting with the old human fellow, Jameson, you want to kick us off and maybe just, you don't have to go into a whole backstory, but you can just kind of describe a little bit about what you think your character looks like and kind of what we see you doing, and then we'll just kind of transition on to someone else to kind of get us going.
So, Archmage Oldman, or I think it's Ode Man. Pretty much old man. Long gray beard and mustache, very bushy eyebrows. Kind of a thin, wiry man, yep. Just like a picture, except for in this case he's wearing a bit more of a fur cloak, which he's struggling to wear because he is quite frail. And in his backstory it says that he's a little bit of a pyromaniac, so he's probably going to the Vale because insurance will no longer cover burn damages. Needs a little bit of wealth.
I'm with it. And the catchphrase of this game is that it is mirth and mayhem in this fantasy world. So that mirth is, have fun with it. It is not all darkness and gloom. Okay, so we see the frail old man kind of like, walking, staff and heavy padded fur. And in terms of just sharing with the character, if we were to like go to combat, what your character looks like on the board, it will be this fellow right here. That wizard there, old fellow in the blue. All right, perfect. And so going in the direction, kind of continuing on clockwise, that brings me back around to walking beside the old man. We see the duck or the mallard fellow. Bo, Lex, I'll turn it over to you.
You definitely hear me waddling before you see me. There's like a slight kind of almost rubber duck or like dog toy sound of like every time I take a step, it's like wah. I'm not wearing any pants. My only armor is on the top.
Okay. Yep.
And then I'm wearing my fur is just kind of draped over me, and then it's kind of just like loosely like pinned with a safety pin around my neck. And then I have I have like a half of a watercress sandwich that I'm like taking bites out of as we're walking along.
Nice. And this their name is. Are you keeping the name the same? Is it Macander?
Let's shorten it. Let's just call him Mac.
Call him Mac. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we got Mac, and so as Mac's kind of waddling, taking bites of that sandwich. Last but definitely not least, is our wolfen fellow, Ohan. Take it away.
All right. Well, I am going to be Baston, and he is he's a warrior from the northern lands, just fighting with his own people for a while. Let's see, very scarred, bulging muscles. So it says that I look loyally at my friends. So I'd say that whenever I look at one of you, it's automatic. I can't control it. My ears go back, my tail starts wagging, right? I look at anybody else and immediately it's like, boom. So, I look menacing at flows. I take good care of my clothes and often wear fragrant perfumes. So I picture Baston is really interested in like fragrances. He cares a lot about how he smells. So every so often you just hear him, just sniffing the air, sniffing himself.
Yeah.
Making sure he's clean, if he smells bad, he just feels bad. And so he's interested in going to the behind the veil. He heard that there's some unique smelling flowers there. He wants to try and connoisseur some good perfumes for himself.
Okay, yeah. So is he a perfume? Does he try his hand at perfume making?
I think that he's really just interested in different smells. And
yeah.
He has his interest in perfumes, but he's not really making perfumes, if that makes sense.
Sure. Okay. I was wondering what skill that might be if he's actually, but he's interested in the flowers that might be in this region.
Actually, no. Yeah, maybe he is interested in making perfumes. Can I?
I mean, something he could always figure it out. Like, maybe as he finds someone, it would be crafting. It would definitely be a crafting check. And so the thing is, that's the thing you think about in this game is anyone can try anything, and as you get better at it. Okay, so one thing this brings us to a really important part of this game. Whenever you hit a boon, whenever you hit a dragon or a demon, both, that's always an opportunity for growth for your character. So whenever you make a skill check and you either failed terribly or you passed amazingly, just make a little note of that. You can only do it once just make a little note of it. And so for all those, at the end of the game, you're going to look, or at the end of each session, you'll look at all those areas, and then you're going to roll for all those skills, and there's a chance for those skills to level up. And as they go up, it makes it easier and easier for you to succeed using them in the future. So we'll explain more about how that works later on. But just remember that so that you don't lose track of your criticals in this game. So yeah,
we keep track of our critical hits.
Yes, keep track of those criticals and which skill they were used on, right? Like so, just pretty much. And so on your character sheet, what it literally is just a if you have the modifiable character, that's why there's a little diamond, because you're supposed to just put an X on that little diamond or whatever, or put an X every time you see one of those. So yeah, that's our Baston, our Wolfkin, as they say, races in this game are called kin. And then I did my best to take this little miniature here and fashion a little clay duck bill. That was the best I could do in short to make this guy look like a duck. So it may maybe from a distance, maybe it'll work, maybe it doesn't.
I'm here for it. I love it.
Well, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck.
Yeah. I'm going to need, definitely, if we continue to play this game, I'm going to need Ohan, because the only place I've ever found any Mallard minis is on the myminifactory.com. So I'm gonna need some printed Mallards for sure.
You got it, man.
All right, and so that is what we see. And so as they travel, I know that you don't know these characters very well. It's not like when we play normally in Dragonlance, you guys kind of just jump into role play. But is there anything we see y'all doing? Give you just a few minutes to, how they might. What are you guys doing or sharing with each other as you've been traveling through this cold? It's starting to wear on you. Kind of like hoping that this place is everything that everyone, this Misty Vale is all it's supposed to be cracked up to be.
I don't know how you're going at this without any pants on.
Whack.
Does he not speak common? Max, I love it. Max is gonna quack the entire time. It's great.
Oh, it's so cold. I can barely smell anything. Ugh.
Yeah, I knew I should have taken Mallard language as an elective.
I look at you quizzically.
The wind is blowing as you all are kind of having these conversations. Can I have an awareness check from all of you? So now here's first check. You're going to pick up a d20. You're not getting this at a bone or a bane, so you're just getting one d20. And you are basically it's the same thing as perception, but it's awareness, and it's on your sheet. And so, for example, Baston is a 5, so you want a 5 or under to succeed. Yes.
Jesus, it's like I have a 15 to beat.
Yes, you have. It's like saying so it's like knowing the DM is like asking you to hit a DC 15. That's
yeah. I hit a 5. I rolled
okay.
a 5.
Okay, see.
I rolled a 10. My awareness is 14.
Okay,
oh,
so that's
nice.
a success as well.
Black.
Mac, what'd you get?
7.
Okay, and I think 7 passes for you, or
No, I
no.
also have
Okay,
a 5 for
okay.
awareness. No. Yeah, no,
Okay.
that fails. Sorry.
So Mac is just kind of waddling. 2 successes is I still get 2, so those 2 have. So as you know, Mac is maybe not necessarily looking for it, but between the I think maybe the keen smell on Baston, you start to pick up the scent of something, even in that cold where it would be tough to find it. Um, your scent, it starts to smell like something uh, kind of this unwashed, kind of rotten smell. Um, and and
That ain't me this time.
And as Eldon says that, he looks over and there's this big kind of pole, and the column is just has bones like wrapped around it, like almost like ornaments, like something has just hung a bunch of different bones, mostly skulls here. There are a few humanoid skulls, but not many human size skulls. But the rest of them are kind of like stags from the area, small rabbits. Some of the smaller like squirrel skulls are all around the base, hidden within the snow, some of them crushed. But it seems to kind of be like almost like a huge warning. It just kind of sits in your path. And who got the lowest of that result? Who was the lowest number? Between you two. You got a 5, so it would have been Baston. So your smell, Baston, kind of leads you to, as you look over in the distance, there is a slight, like in the wall of the ice, it's not like a huge cave, but it's like a small crevice that would almost be like a small cave that a humanoid could kind of slip into, or a creature could be living in. And can you give me a I'm not used to all that. I know what it is, but I can't. I want to kind of use the official name of what this is, and it would be a beast lore check. And I'm gonna give you beast lore at a boon, so you get advantage. This is a game where you want to keep your 2d20s around so you can roll them at the same time if you like doing that. Otherwise,
Okay. So
it looks like you got to hit a 5, but I'm giving you a boon, so you got 2 chances to hit that 5 or under.
So I roll. So my bad roll is a demon.
Okay.
And my best roll is a 19.
Okay, because the demon doesn't count. Of course, it's because of boon. And so the 19 counts, and the 19 doesn't do anything for you. So I'm going to be a little bit more like kind of open and transparent since it's a new system. So basically what that translates to is you did really well in your awareness. You know now something lives around here. Something put these skulls in this post, and something might be in that cave that did this, right? Like in that far off. And the cave is like maybe, we're looking at like 60 feet away, right? And you guys are walking through a pass. Like it's mostly... the elevation constantly changes, but right now you feel like kind of like in a little valley of snow, large mountains on either side of you, trees, crops on either side of 4C peaks, and there's this little area. And so the smell that you're trying to pick up, both you and Eodin, as you're kind of like, hey, look, you know it's something, but you don't know what beast it is, right? You weren't able to put your finger on exactly what lives there or what did this. And so with that... you can try to avoid this place. You can further explore it. You guys can kind of like try to go around it and continue on the path. This is just, you all have seen this, and now you can maybe try to go around a different path, or do you just ignore it? It's up to you. Otherwise, that's all you see is just kind of this totem of skulls in you. Maybe 5 feet high and up on a small pole. Yeah.
It smells like there's something in that cave over there. And I can't pick up what it is, but this smells awful. Oh.
And what you also know, Baston, is the smell that you're getting. Someone would have to be really keen to pick up. So it's not like walking into an area and smelling the decay of corpses, right? You're like, everybody's like, oh, this smells like death. It's just you picking up that faint odor of like, this is what this beast smells like, right? And whatever it is, it probably has like wet, constantly, it kind of smells like wet fur, wet dog, with a little bit of rot or like kind of bacteria, fungi kind of odor. That's what you're getting, kind of BO.
Then I'm gonna turn to the tomb and Lex, have I heard you say anything but quack since we've met?
Quack.
Okay.
Okay.
all
Now,
right.
do you want? Okay. Now, here's what I want to know. Here's where we'll continue to play this. We can either play this like I Am Groot, where they have made some checks and eventually understand what these quacks mean, where you kind of have to explain them. I'm not going to make them make a check every time you say quack. Or do you all like more of the idea of just trying to like fuck around and like see what Lex means when he says quack?
I was gonna have Baston just like talk to him like completely eye to eye, like a peer,
Okay.
and then when he goes quack, and he's gonna be like, okay, and then like I'm talking to my dog, but seriously,
Actually, this is perfect. I want a language check because this is a language check for the traveling that you've all done in the past, like the weeks maybe. I don't know how long you guys have been together. Actually, you all tell me on a scale to have you all been traveling for days, weeks, or months together. You decide. But what you decide, there's gonna be a pro and con to the check. So I'm gonna might give you a boon to the check, but there might be some other caveat to it. But like, how long has this group do you think's been?
I'm gonna say 2 weeks.
Okay, weeks.
2 weeks sounds good. Yeah.
Okay, so you've been traveling 2 weeks with Matt doing the quacks. I think you'd get a boon on your language check.
okay.
And
Damn, I suck at all these roles, man.
that's the point. Just think of this. This is essentially you're playing D&D at level 1. If you did, you are playing like, but you have like, but nothing is really limited to you other than like your feats. So yeah, you're not like Dragonlance.
Don't get me wrong. I'm glad that I don't need a whole fucking website to figure out how to roll for something. This is great. So don't get me wrong. I have to beat a 5 again.
You got to beat a 5 again.
Okay, here we go.
You got. You know what? I'll give you for 2 weeks. No, 2 weeks. I'm just gonna give you just a boon. So just 2 d20s, highest result. Go for it.
3, baby. 3.
3. Okay.
So I'm gonna explain to him what I smell. I smell something funky in there. I think that it's not this. It's actually something alive. It's in that small cave right there. Mac might be the only one that might be able to fit in there. Otherwise, maybe we can get the thing out of there, or should we just scurry off?
So going forward from now on, whenever you all need to understand Mac's quack, you make a boon check. If you succeed, Lex has to explain what he means by quack, or what the quack has to give you something. You have to give him something.
Cool. I like it. I love it.
Quack.
Yeah, it's probably talking about the skulls don't make for great decorations.
I'm gonna quack, and then I'm gonna start waddling over to the.
Oh Lord!
But
what I mean is, you gotta tell me. So basically, what you don't have to. What you're basically doing is translating what your initial quack meant. It's like every time we hear "I am Groot," the way they always respond, like exactly they say what Groot said. It's like, when you said quack, what did Baston hear? Like, what did he decipher? Oh,
he deciphered through.
So for example, you might say quack. I'm going over to check it out. And then that's what Baston heard in that quack is what you have.
Quack. Understood.
Okay.
Waddling over.
Okay. I'm gonna look over at Ode and be like, I guess we're gonna kill this thing.
Now, Mac, as you're waddling, kind of like feet really heavy in your little armor, and I imagine you probably don't wear the under parts of the armor so that you can kind of still continue to move with the weight of the plate mail on you. I think you have plate. That's where you have. It's like you're rocking. Yep. Okay, the plate. And so which was pretty badass, because man, you're minusing 6 to your damage, which was really good. And so as you're getting the wind kind of whipping, this kind of like that to you was a massive massive cave to your size. You get closer to it. When you're about maybe 20 feet from it, you make out something kind of fidgeting, you realize something is there at the edge of the cave, and it was watching you, and it kind of moves just a bit, and you're able to make out the very frail, hairy figure with long humanoid hands and a long, big humanoid body and very cold, wet, strangly black hair. And it leans out, long, curved, gnarly nose with a wart on it, kind of a bluish, very like when a corpse is gone deathly, kind of a dark, darkish pale blue. You can see the veins in the skin, and you just make out the face. And these two yellow eyes pierce in the darkness. Two tusks, huge tusks that are probably the, size of your hands. Step no further, duckling.
Right.
Ah.
I have the myths and legends skill. Would that be applicable here?
That would be applicable here. So when it says you would now does it take your willpower? So myths and legends. Which one is that?
It's one of the skills.
Oh, it's just one of your skills. And yeah, so okay. So another thing, if you notice, you'll notice that most of y'all skills are like 5, 7, and then some of them are like double, like 10, 14, 12. Those are the skills that basically, if you built the character, basically that's your proficiency. It basically doubles it. So if something is like a 14 or a 12, that means you're like pretty good at it. Was that one of yours, Mac?
Yeah.
Yes. So that means Mac is actually good in this kind of lore area. So that's basically what that means. It's kind of like instead of proficiency, it just kind of doubles it because it's one of your main skills, one of the skills you'd be good at. So yeah, give me. You can either give me the myths and lore, unless your beast lore is better, which I think is their myths and legends is better. Now, ask me, tell me this: what are you trying to find? Tell me what you're trying to find first. What is it that you're trying to understand? Or like making this check, what do you want if you get a success here?
If I've heard any like stories about what this creature is.
Okay. So technically I would call this is a beast lore check, not a myths and legends. But what I'll do is I'm gonna make it a beast lore check, but give you two boons, because of Baston had already kind of got the scent going and described the scent to you. So 3d20s, lowest or highest, best result would be your lowest result of it. 3. So you're still trying to hit 5 or lower instead of your 10, but
do the rest of us see this figure at this point, or do we need to approach to see it?
I think the rest of you see it as well.
Wait, so are we able to follow Mac into the cave?
Because Mac's not going in. Mac's not in the cave. Mac's just the closest person to seeing the creature.
Okay.
So remember, I said Mac's about 20 paces off the creature. So it's almost like you're approaching the cave, and then the creature steps out. Like what are you doing? Kind of like just barely. It's like you go into somebody's house and they step in the doorway. Like, how you doing? Why are you at my house? Like the creature's just standing there in the doorway, and Mac's like quack, That's and then you all are like 30 paces behind Mac. That's the scene, right? Monster, Mac, you all, right?
I rolled so bad.
Growling. Yeah.
I got a 19 and 18.
Ears back.
Okay. Now I'll tell you this.
That's my ex-wife, is it?
I will say, seeing the creature, I think that it's kind of like you can feel in this game, like you didn't have to necessarily succeed for certain things. It kind of fell forward. Like you don't necessarily get what you want, but it's very clear. Maybe you've never seen one like this. But this is some kind of troll. And so what I'll say what it looks like, if Mac is kind of pull off a bit. Standing there in that archway. Of course, in this cave, something like this thing. And what I would describe as what you see also there. Ah, mallard. Hmm. Not much meat, but little gamey, but quite delicious. But I am no, I am I'm no savage. You saw my bones there, mallard, so you must, like all who come this way, you must be looking for the veil. You must pay the toll. You have, as others, 1 hour to. I am quite hungry, so find me a meal. Bring back some fresh meat. Doesn't matter what type, but I do prefer veal. Bring back a tasty treat and you can pass. You have 1 hour, or I will hunt you down and make you all my meal.
So is that one veal per person? Or is it just one veal for us all? I don't know if we can find 3 whole veal out here.
I'm not greedy. One beast would do the job. Fine for me.
Alright.
Yeah.
What?
What are you saying?
Man, I don't know. I'm thinking. I think that Baston will just step closer to Mac, and then just look at the Omega. Why should we pay?
You notice that seeing how the size of the wolf as the wolf steps into view, the troll seems to kind of back away. Wolf can all pay the toll at Bagatha's Pass. As you need to eat, I need to eat as well. You have a job and I have mine. Just bring me some fine, fresh corpse, fresh meat. I don't care what it is. I'll take it. Rather that than us have to come to rugged fight and blows. Wouldn't that be much easier?
Baston's gonna look to old man and Mac and just be like, I don't like bullies.
Oldman would definitely be in the back of the group.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm never gonna do this to a wizard and be like, yeah. Especially not in this game.
Man, you really have it out for Janison. I don't know what it is. You just want him to die every game.
Yeah. So, and this is not exact how close you all are, right? But it's just getting the feel. But yeah, it could be. You get the feeling that tensions are high. You all are running low on rations, and to one degree, here's this troll telling you to go find them meat. I get Baston's idea of how dare they. You don't like, how dare she? You don't like bullies. And then on the other hand, in this world, you all understand. I think one thing I'm kind of sharing with you all that you would understand through living in it, which your characters, your players wouldn't necessarily understand, is that unlike 5th edition, this every fight could get gnarly, right? It could get real. It doesn't mean that you all with Aoden's spells and with your scrappy claws and fighting ability and hunter ability, and with the Mallard being a knight, you're probably quite equipped for this fight. But with the talons you see on that giant beast, so is she. And so what you wonder is it worth it? Maybe you lie and you don't go get the meat and you just pass through. Maybe you agree and you honor your word, or maybe you just kill this thing and get it out of the way. Just some options, not all. It's up to you.
Well then, Baston's gonna look from Mac to old man and be like, well, old man, are you gonna do what this guy says? Or do you want to veal for yourself?
I'm no guy. I am Bagatha, the troll. I'm the finest troll on this mountain. And you will respect my beauty. How dare you call me a guy?
Well, I'm gonna roll.
Do the other trolls have a troll? You say you're not the only troll.
No, I don't understand that.
Like, because we're going to run out of veal, we're going to have to pay a toll for every troll.
This is a good question, actually.
Aelden, can I have a persuasion check? It's not that you're necessarily trying to persuade anything. I'm just kind of using this as like kind of a general charisma to see if either Hagatha is kind of dumb enough to reveal more information, or if she kind of finds you to be trustworthy enough to just kind of share more information.
I rolled a 7, which is good for me.
Okay, then that's a success, then, right? Yep, that's a success. And so your persuasion
is a 12.
Yeah, it's a 12. So she says, what I was saying, I'm the most beautiful troll because I'm the only troll within 50 miles. Sorry, we like to live in recluse. I don't like to live around each other. I couldn't deal with another troll to deal with like you humans who marry each other and how do you live and cohabitate. No, just me. So yes, you bring me one beast and I'll be fine with that. Is that okay, old man?
So we bring you we get to go.
Pronounced a old man.
A old man. Is that your name?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, old man. Bagatha.
Can I? So I eat insects. Can I try to find like a spider, and like I? Can I try to find a spider, and I'm gonna pick it up in my bill, and I'm gonna like present it to her, and I'm just gonna quack.
And I'll give you a boon advantage, even though it would probably be very difficult to and that'll be a bushcraft check, like kind of like a survival, like to kind of it would kind of be like finding a or no. You would have to give me a hunting check, a boon hunting check to find a spider. In the snow. Like you just looked out like there's a spider.
So
like
I looked up what animals or what insects live in.
Spiders live everywhere, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, and to be fair, we're at a cave where a spider would most likely go.
Yes, absolutely. So I'll
13
give you
and 15, not it.
Not it. Oh.
Why can't I roll this high when we're playing?
That's why people might hate games when you roll low, because that's the thing now you're like, I never roll this, like, suddenly you're rolling high. But you're, you can steal why you don't, what do you do instead if you don't necessarily have the spider available? Would it just be the same thing? What might you change? Doesn't necessarily mean the sentiment isn't lost on Bagatha.
It's an already dead spider.
I'll take that. Something. Maybe your rations are like preserved dead, like spiders, crickets, things like that.
I have a little I put crickets in my little watercress sandwiches, and so I'll be like, here you go.
I picture like a Chex mix of like
she goes
snacks and seeds and stuff.
No, your friend doesn't understand. No, that doesn't work here.
But for him, that is just as good as veal.
I
yes,
quack sadly.
I have plenty of spiders. Listen, no.
I perk up at the hearing.
Yeah, Mac, don't worry, Mac. She didn't mean it. She look.
Would you like to come see? I have plenty of spiders. If your friend would like to come.
Well, so as Mac goes and eats those spiders, I'm just gonna get close to old man and be like, "What do you want to do?"
So as she brings out this like kind of like rock she grabs like rock and brings it out and it's covered with spiders. Yeah, and as he's eating the spiders, you notice she's like leaning stringly, like straggly hair, and just sniffing. Like as he's eating, she's just like that long nose is sniffing him.
So
an orange falls out of my bag.
Baston's gonna come close to old man. Okay, old man. Two things. First, you need to take a bath. Second, what do you want to do?
I feel like we should at least attempt to hunt some veal. No, she could have just jumped us. All fine, but she decided to speak, and speaking's pretty rare for monster folk. So she seems pretty hospitable. Hopefully we can fulfill the deadline. If not, we could try to convince for a little bit more time. If that happens. But I feel like we show the effort that we're actually trying to get that time extension. Can do it within the time.
Aildman, I'd say that you also get the feeling that that's probably like with new settlers coming this way. Not many, but all them being adventurous is probably how she's avoided a fight, is like learning to deal with the trying to be hospitable to some degree as a troll. Like, so yeah, you're interesting take there. But at the same time, still a troll, still knowing that if she, needed to fight to the death, this is definitely a being that you can tell has strength that is probably, it's like orangutan strength to you all.
Can I don't know if she'll understand me, but I would like to quack at her and try to see if she'll like give us information about like the best place to hunt, because if we're successful, then she gets to eat.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I'll give you a bone to that, and can you give me a languages check for her to try to understand you?
Oh, you're muted.
You're muted, Lex.
Sorry, I got a 5, and that's my
perfect. All right. So she goes, yes. I typically hunt right over that ridge, but I'll be honest. There's not much around here as of late. But that is, if you are to find a good buck, it would be right over. And she kind of like gives you a direction to like travel, and it's still in the direction of where you're going. It's maybe 30 minutes away. With your checks, you're hunting. You might be out there hunting for an hour or two. She says you're welcome to just kind of leave the meat outside, and she kind of has these like stakes set up where you can kind of like leave the kind of like drop the meat on. So she gives you a general direction, also giving you a boon to your bushcraft check if you were to head that way to find the creature, and yeah.
Okay.
Where?
All right, pup. Let's see if your sniffer can find her some veal.
Hold on. I want to roll on that said. Never mind. I don't know what he said.
I'll say you understood that one. Like when it's between like you just like you got it.
Okay. I understood that. So should I just continue on, or do you want to tell me?
Yeah, you know it, you understood it, so now like
all right, so the Baston's gonna kind of spin a couple times and then just like put his nose up in the air and start sniffing and see if he picks up a scent besides the troll and the totem.
Okay, so now here's when it comes to when it comes to hunting, all of you can technically you would make a bushcraft check. You can all make a bushcraft check looking for this creature. And if you succeed, then you pick up the trail and you find it. And then you'll need to succeed on another bushcraft check to actually kill it and, skin it and create the meat. And so anyone can take it, but the head hunter, whoever's kind of taking the lead, will take a boon on the check.
Baston's bushcraft sucks. Just gonna let you guys know.
Mine's a 5.
So what you can do, Baston, though, but don't you? That's kind of crazy that your bushcraft is bad. I'm really surprised.
That's what I thought too. I was like, I can't hunt, huh? My hunting.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm saying bushcraft. It would be hunting. That's me. My fault as a DM. It would be your hunting, which is not that much greater. It's a 6, right? Hunting and fishing, but it is a little bit better. And then you do have hunting instincts. So if you use this ability, if you spend your willpower, you can designate a creature. So if you want to veal, you can designate the creature.
I don't have to see it.
If you flip you have a character sheet, and then you have like the sheet. The PDF should have 2 sheets. One is the flip side, so the back side gives you exactly what each ability is.
No, I got it.
Yeah, and so
I'm just rereading it, and specifically the creature you can catch the scent of. It doesn't have to be insight. So okay, I'm totally using my willpower to find this.
So you gain attacks on boon on attacks against the prey. You can catch the scent of the prey. This counts as an action. You can follow the scent your prey for a full day. Yeah, so I'm not even going to ask you if you spend the 3 willpower. You don't even have to make a roll. You'll just catch the scent of the nearest, deer or creature nearby.
Cool. So I am going to do it.
Perfect. So you spend the 3 willpower. What I will want to roll for, you're going to succeed. What I'm now asking a roll for is, can you give me I'm going to ask for a hunting check. But this is a hunting check not because you're succeeding. The high, basically the lower, even if you miss, even if you don't get your 6, you're going to succeed. But the lower you roll is how quickly you find the creature is what I'm asking for. Does that make sense? So, give me a hunting check.
Okay. Is this with a boon?
This is not with a boon.
Okay.
Because this is not a little different from the normal rules.
I rolled a 19.
Okay. And so,
nearest deer was far out.
Yeah. So you all end up traveling over this ridge, and it goes, you're like, she told you like 30, 40 minutes away, but you pick up, Baston has the scent of the creature. It's just, it keeps going and going. And so 2 hours later, you all find yourself in this spot where coming down off this ridge, where you see the creature and it's a chance for you to kind of take either a shot at it, but you have completely tracked it.
How far away are we from it?
Yeah, let me. So.
Do you guys have range?
Oh, let me see something here.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Does anybody have any range?
I do. Yeah.
You do. You do. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So
I'll probably just use mine since I won't use up any willpower.
So if you see where you're at here, you're not too far away. A little duck fellow has fallen. But you see across the ridge, you see the beast, kind of grand, huge antlers, kind of huffing, looking in the wind. The wind is kind of picked up a bit, and there's a little bit of snowflakes, kind of snow that's kind of beginning to whip and fall. Maybe a storm is coming as the wind is kind of rough, but the trees are all around you, and it's probably, less than 100 feet away as you kind of stop and you see the creature, and it hasn't seen you. It hasn't darted away. Now? Can I also have a wound awareness check, Baston? Actually, I'll take an awareness check from everyone. But I'll take a boon one from Baston.
3. A success.
Success.
Okay, success. I'm hearing successes.
Failure.
So the 2 successes, in addition to the stag that's across the way, that you can take a shot on, right here, like right down in there in that shallow snow or in that heavy snow, you see a body. The beast is still there, but you hear this, even amongst the light wind, this disconcerting whimper, and you see a figure lying in the middle of this snowy trail, and maybe 20 meters ahead of you, and you notice that there's a dark bundle that he's leaning against a rock, the closest thing to this rock that can be. Kind of to suddenly see the figure move, and almost like a body for a second. As it rolls over, he's holding this bundle close to his chest, and he whimpers, and you can hear his whimper turning into that rattling wheeze, that rattling death rattle, that you can realize that this is a gravely wounded person. Now, you've got the shot on your beast, and you've got the person there that's dying. I don't know what is most important to you. I'll turn it over to you all to decide.
Now, I don't want to be that guy. That dude seems pretty dead already. And if you don't catch that veal, we may be dead.
We can do both. What do you think, Mac?
Whack.
I got a success.
Success on what?
Understanding what he said.
Oh, yeah, okay, yes. So yeah.
I've been rolling this whole time, every quack. I'm very interested in what he's saying.
I also don't want to be that guy. But I mean, if we're going back,
would it be wrong to bring the person?
Well, wait, but hold on. Why don't you two go for the person and I'll go for the deer? I'm gonna pull out my short spear.
Did you understand? I think Aodman was saying, is it wrong to bring the person as the meat?
yeah.
Oh, that's what you mean. Well, what if we give the ogre that meat and then we eat the veal? What do you think, Mac?
Quack.
Nope. Okay. Okay. Okay, old man. What do you say? Ulf?
Yeah, I think that's most agreeable.
Oh, okay. So Basson wants to go at least within an 18 range, 18 feet. We're doing
Uh-huh.
feet. So my range here says 36 with the short spear. So I basically just did what we did with
Yep.
the movement.
So if you're
right?
gonna toss the spear,
It has to be
uh,
within 18 because his range is 36.
yep. So if you wait, you said the range is 36 meters. That's different.
You tell me what it
Oh
is.
no. Yeah, that would be slightly different. So 36 meters would be how many feet?
I think that would be over 100 feet.
Yeah, it's different than it's easy to just cut in half when you're doing feet because the squares on the D&D board are
All right.
like that's different. But that's what it says. So yeah, about 118 feet you got. So from where you're standing, you don't need to move. You can just throw that spear.
Yeah.
And I'll give you a boon on the spear instead of
Okay.
and if you strike, you will cause the damage to,
So,
So you're rolling against your spear. So your spear skill is 14. That's what you got to hit. 14 or under.
oh damn. Okay. I rolled a 13.
So essentially 6 or up is essentially what it translates to you if it was the other way around.
Yeah.
So yep. So you fling this thing. You hear this, and you hit the creature in. What'd you get? What's the number you got?
I got 13.
13. So
Yeah.
boom, it lands in its backside, and of course, as creatures do, it doesn't just drop and die immediately. It turns and leaps off the rock and darts away, but wounded. But you know you got it, so you know it's not going to make it very far. But it darts away, like into the brush. Ooh, as it tries to get away.
Eldman will go up to the injured person.
I will also go up to the injured person.
And then I'm gonna just for security spend another willpower just to gain another boon on the steer just in case, and then I'm gonna go after the steer.
Okay. You're gonna spend another. Wait, what are you doing? Tell me.
I actually don't think I need to do that. It's just I can spend another willpower to gain a boon for an attack against the prey. So do I have to do that again?
Oh, okay. So basically, you kind of already spent that. That's why. That's my fault. But like, that's why you got the attack against it when you saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would have spent one, but you've hit it. It's just like kind of like somewhere in the nearby you'll find it. You'll be able to like follow a scent to it. So are you going after it while they talk to?
I am.
Okay. So as you saunter off, you as Mac and Eldon approach, the figure suddenly sits up, and what you see in front of you is this deathly, ill-looking man, and he's pale. You can see the veins in his pale from the cold, maybe blue veins piercing his face. His eyes look like marbles and kind of like a pale blue. And he sits up, and Matt, as both of you arrive, and between Mac and Aoden, who of you has the highest charisma rating? I see. I think it's Mac with a 13. So yeah, because Aoden is a 7. And so as he sits up, he hands this big bundle that he's holding, and he hands it to Mac, and with this kind of fading, breathy voice, "Quick, take it, Linera. She will understand." Message from Master Weatherman. Must find all 4 pieces. It is the secret to the dragon Emperor. And this is um, and as you say quack, he nods like he completely understands. His eyes roll back. And he dies.
Does that name mean anything to me?
Lanera?
Yeah.
Not Lenara. It doesn't, unfortunately.
I was gonna say myths and legends check, but
you know what? For this game, you know what? I'm allowed. So here's the thing: if I go back, then I have to give Lex or Mac the first opportunity to try it. So you both can try. But Mac, you want to give me a myths and legends? I will say for both of you, this would be at a Bane. So disadvantage.
19
You
for
muted.
was a 2.
Okay, yeah, so nothing there. Who is this Lanera? How about you, Ailman? Maybe the mage knows something.
Oof. Unfortunately, no. 6 and a 16.
Okay, so yeah, as I thought, they don't know. The name doesn't ring a bell. The swaddle of the dark, you know, the kind of the blanket, it's kind of wet and cold and kind of heavy. As you hold it, Mac, it almost wants to unravel, but you feel like there's something of a decent weight, at least like a weight of 1 inside this thing.
Well, Mac, looks like you got a quest assigned to you. Have fun with that.
Do you take a look inside the bundle, or do you just kind of pocket it for now?
I would like to take a look inside the bundle.
Okay. As you unroll and unravel it, as this is happening somewhere else down the way, you know, Baston is coming across his prey, or his kill, and you find the beast collapsed over on its side as you would expect. Your spear in the side of it. Realizing that you actually got a better shot than you think, since it's kind of like in its side where its lungs would be, and it's making its like final breath. It's kind of in some pain. You could either put out of its misery, but I don't know how you would, as a wolfkin, what you would do. But you have found it. You've located it.
Yeah, it slit its neck.
Yeah, so quick. So back as Mac is unfurling this this bundle, what you find inside is very interesting. Inside of a kind of a metal tubing, or more of like a kind of a wooden and some metal caps on either end. The bundling is trying to keep it from the cold. Is a map case, and inside of there is a map. But what also is very interesting, the major bulk of the weight of the bundle is a piece of a statue, or a statue. It's like seems like the base of a statue, and that it's a pedestal, a small heavy pedestal that has lower human-like legs on it, and the bottom part of a sword. Likely the base of some kind of statue of a grand figure, and then you have the map. As you unfurl the map and look inside, what you see looks something like this. Oh, not there. That's Google.
Google.
Bam, there we go. Not this map here. And it appears to be a map of the Misty Vale. And so it's a finely crafted map. And you all had talked to people for weeks, months about journeying here, and you've got a guy. You have to use a lot of hearsay and all of that. And now you found this kind of finely crafted map of the entire region. That is what you have at the moment.
Is there any sort of inscription on that statue piece?
There are no inscriptions on it, but can I have a myths and legends check?
I'm gonna use my ill-tempered ability, because because I'm getting upset that I'm failing everything.
Okay. And so what does that do? Let's see. You're ill-tempered. Oh yes, so these temper, you activate this ability. Okay, so you can make the check again with a boon. The boon cannot be abused for intelligence base, which this is an intelligence based roll.
Never mind.
I'll give it to you for this one, since I just feel bad. You've been struggling this entire game. But yes, we're learning as that is not typically used for it. I'll give you a boon to this roll as you.
Two 16s.
Jeez, you would be passing everything if this was a regular D&D game. What is happening? You might have to switch dice out. This is insane.
I'm not even using dice. I'm using my dice.
That's probably why. Those numbers are way too high constantly. And so you're struggling to, what I can say is, I'll give you, Eldon, in this game you can give someone help, which would just be another boon. But Eldon, would you like to take a crack at, since you're standing there, Myths and Legends, would you like to give a Myths and Legends, just a roll of your own at it? I'll give you a chance.
Be a 13, which is a success.
Okay. What you notice is when you're looking at the map, as little Mac is being frustrated, almost like about to rip this thing. You're kind of trying to calm him down. You notice that on the map itself, there are in the corners these pieces of statues. And you realize the one of the drawings looks most like this one, the base with the feet and the sword. So you have one of these four, and kind of shaped like that makes this. And then with you thinking about what you know about the region and the lore of the Vale, is that there was this dragon emperor, and ages ago, this is where he set up his kingdom, and that what you've heard, no one knows how true it is that the Misty Vale was once a site where demons and dragons warred with each other constantly, and if this war continued to rage on, it would eventually have consumed the rest of the land, the rest of the world, until there was a victor. One of them winning, one of them being the rulers of all things. At least it's the way, you've read and studied as an old mage. And the Dragon Emperor, who his name has kind of been lost to legend even, but just known as the Dragon Emperor, that the Dragon Emperor was the one who kind of came in and and got the dragons on the side of the humans of that realm, and used the dragons as a benevolent vehicle to wage war and to banish the demons from the realm. And for a time, there was great prosperity, an age where the emperor ruled. The stories about how the empire actually fell, those are kind of go, many different ways. But eventually, what you're looking at is a statuette of you, what you believe to be a statuette of the emperor's like legs of this thing that could be like massed together. So long drawn out, but that's what you get from that.
Alrighty, I know I said you got assigned a quest, but I think now we all got a quest, because this could be the amount of gold I'm looking for. And I guess some spiders for you.
Can I have awareness check from all of you? But Baston, you get a boon to your awareness check.
Well,
I got an 8.
pass.
Yes.
Success. Okay. So, Baston success. Ailman, what'd you get? Success. Okay. Sorry, Mac. But you, so what you notice is suddenly, Ailman, some rustling in the brush above the mountain above you. And Baston, you too can see that you start to hear, like, with your fine ears, like one of them darts up as you're kind of like cleaning your meat, and you hear this like pitter patter, and you kind of know innately that the way it sounds to be those small little footprints, and you're like, goblins, but they're moving in a direction away from you. Eldman, you kind of hear the rustling, and then hear the thwip of the first arrow that is fired, as in hearing the chattering of these goblins beyond the bush, as the attack is coming in, allowing you to get a free, wherever your initiative lies, you can get a free transfer of like an initiative card. So here's where combat is breaking out now. For our Wolfkin, I imagine you're like darting back, trying to get to the group as quickly as possible. Okay. As this is happening, let's see here. Mac has this. This is how each round in this game of combat, it's a little different from D&D, because every round you get the opportunity to shuffle around where you are. So I'm going to go by who I see first on the screen, and I'm going to go by Mac. Mac, your initiative is 5. Note where your initiative is. Baston, your initiative, your initiative is 3. And Eldman, your initiative is 6. Eldman, if you'd like, you can swap your initiative with any one person, including the villains. So I'll continue. Right now, the bad guys do not have the jump. The next card that comes out, next group. So the goblins are set in position. So they fire at this arrow and it misses. Pretty much an arrow lands in the body of this figure who just died in front of you. And let's see here.
Oh no, you killed our friend. Please spare us.
Okay, so if we're breaking out into combat, it looks like these goblins are going kind of after you all. So it doesn't. So right now, top of the round is Baston. Now, in a game like in terms of your actions, similar to D&D, you have very similar things. You could dash, which does take your full action, right? When you're running double speed, you can actually get there with getting there with your basic move. Bastion, you're arriving on the scene to kind of like get to your friends, but you're not within striking distance. You probably would have to throw a spear or use something within range if you were going to attack. Let me.
I would attack with my short spear first.
That short spear. So you guys are down here with the body. You notice that pitter patter is moving faster than usual. And so what you realize what it is that the wolves, these goblins, are on Wolfbat. Small. 2 of them come over the ridge. And 1 on this side. And you right here for Baston, Mac, and Aildman. Now, having moved into, you can use your major one action. Your free action is to draw your weapon. You got your spear in hand. You can make attack against any of these, goblin creatures that you can see. Similar to D&D, just think like that, and we'll kind of work through what you do. And you can also use that, call out to your friends and do that kind of role-playing stuff as well. But you got one major action.
Okay. Yeah. So for my major action, I'll be throwing my short spear.
Okay, and
I'm gonna throw it at the person that's gonna be the easiest to retrieve if I kill him.
That would be this guy up here.
I'll throw it at that guy. Yeah, and then
it's probably he's 30 feet away up on the mountain. And
then yelling is like a free action, yeah?
Yeah. All that's just kind of like role playing. Yep.
So then, Renta get there. Oh, goblins! I'm gonna throw my spear.
Yep.
No shit.
I missed. I rolled. I didn't get a success.
Okay, now the goblin. So if you would have hit, the goblin could, because it's another humanoid, could have tried to parry. Now the parry would probably be as low like you, like a 6 or a 7, and I would roll that. If I did, let's say I not parry. You can only parry with a shield. That goblin does not have a shield. So you can only parry. So here's it. You can only parry a ranged weapon with a shield. You can parry a weapon up close with a shield or a blade. Right? So just so you know how that would work. But if the goblin did even do that, they'd be using their action. So in this case, you threw your spear. It flies off. It hits a tree. I'm not going to do that. You didn't roll a demon, so it's not like you lost it. The spear lands into the tree right behind the goblin. Goblin snickers and looks back down on you, ready to attack. That ends what I believe is your turn. As we move to, I think Mac was 5. Yep, Mac, what do you do here?
I don't know if I'm close enough to get to the one that's at the top of the screen.
What's your movement? Yeah, you got 5, 10,
4.
15. Just difficult terrain. 4. Wait. Oh, so 8, so 4. Yeah. So you'd be charging up the mountain.
I meant the one in the back, the one that's
this one
on the glacier.
Yeah.
So he'd be right there at the kind of getting up on right here on the mountain. So you wouldn't make it to him unless you dash, but then you just be there, kind of like in a tussle on that next turn. It would be unless you want to throw something at him or something.
My range is 2. What does that mean?
Your range, let's see. Where do you see that at? I'm looking at your range. I see it. So your range is 2, meaning 2 meters away, meaning 5 feet, meaning adjacent. You've got nothing with. Now you could throw the battle axe, but you'd be getting rid of it, right? You would be throwing it, and then you'd have to hope that you don't. You could throw it into his chest and then catch back. If it all goes well, you could just be throwing it a short distance and slams to his chest, and then you pull it out and fight. But I would give you, seeing as your agility.
Am I able to ready an action? Is that a thing that's in this?
You can hold.
You can hold an
and
action.
you'll switch initiative with
Yes,
someone.
with any one person. So you can.
okay.
That's basically all you would be doing is holding. So it's like, say there was like you wanted to go later in the round, you would just be switching. Because right now, basically, initiative is card based, so you'd be switching cards with any one person. That would be a hold.
I'll just move my full movement then.
Okay, so then we're gonna get you in combat with this guy. So you come leaping out of nowhere. He hears that quack, and they like bam, and they start like tussling. The dog is like barking as these two are going back and forth, but we don't get to necessarily know what transpires from it. And then our wizard, we kind of center in on our wizard Aildman, as I believe it's his turn.
So I'm going to. I was going to move kind of behind that rock a little bit.
Right there.
And then are either of those goblins within 20 meters?
They are. All of them
Alrighty.
are, so you can get it, yeah.
Or actually, are they within 10 meters?
10 meters would be... Still learning my feet. 10 meters into...
That's about 30 feet.
Yeah, so you got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. This is 30, 30, 30. They're all 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, they're all within 30. They're all like just within 30.
Alright, so for the...
So for everybody, there's three assailants. There's 3 goblins right now.
Okay, so for the bottom right one, I'm going to cast Earthen Pillar underneath it.
Okay. It's my first time with this spell, so tell me what it does, and then what you're going to do is you're going to make a read the spell out, and then you would make a roll based on your elementalism, right? Check. So 14 or under for the spell to work.
Yep, and I got a 7,
Nice.
and then it's going to cost 2 will points. It's a rank 1 spell.
Yep.
And pretty much raise my staff up and go, Earthen Pillar!
And you said the closest,
little
this one
bastard.
over here, or the one that's like over?
The one to the further to the right.
Okay, that one. Yep. Okay.
That one.
That
Yep.
one. Okay. And so, what does it do?
Raises a pillar 3 meters high and 1 meter wide from the ground.
1 meter high.
And if someone is standing in that spot, the victim must make an acrobatics roll
Oh shoot. Okay.
to avoid falling off the pillar.
Okay. Goblins are acrobatic is 12. Oh, he got a dragon. So he succeeded. And being a rider, I'm going to say, does the wolf succeed? The wolf fails. So then he falls. So they fall, and then, or what? Do they just go prone? Do they take any damage? Do you
They
know?
take 2d6 bludgeoning damage, or no, anyone who falls off takes falling damage.
Okay, so then the falling would be down the mountain. So for the sake of the game, I probably want to look it up in the rule, but I'm going to use D&D rules for tonight and say that's a 30. How high is it up? 2 meters, you said?
So it raised it up 3 meters, so that was 9 feet.
9 feet. Okay, so that's every, 10 feet is, so a D6. So a D6 to... Can you give me a D6 roll to damage for the wolf?
That'll be 4.
Okay, so the wolf gets like thrown into the background, into one of the trees. You see like some snow fluff come off, and you can hear it slam down somewhere behind, and you don't hear it get back up or run back to the fight. But standing there on that pillar as it rises up, you've got this one goblin like just like holding their own as that pillar extends upward. So there's a goblin on the pillar up there still alive, right there. He's like like wobbling, getting his balance. And if that ends your turn, then the goblins will take a shot at so the goblin on the top will take a shot at the wizard. But what I want you to do, Archmage, is to give me actually that's a roll. Let's see. That's a fail. One shot. Another goblin takes a shot and misses Baston. And then the goblin swinging at our duck figure needs to hit a 7 or under. He gets an 8, so that's a miss. So all none of the goblins actually score any hits here. A fight is happening. I know we've been playing for a while. Let's take a 5-minute break, bathroom break, whatever, get some drinks, whatever, and let's come back to where we're at as we're learning the game. Good stuff. Has anybody hit any critical successes or fails tonight?
I haven't.
Yeah, surprisingly. There's also another way to gain hit points. Is basically there's some questions that get asked at the end of every session, and basically if you can answer them as yes, then you get to mark. You get to choose skills that you want. So, for example, tonight, even like the skill about making perfumes for crafting, for example, you'll at least be able to. You might want to choose crafting as your skill tonight, for example, Ohan, and try to roll against that skill. So I'll go over that a little bit later. But
cool.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Good stuff. So far, so good. Pretty simple, pretty basic. So, stuff. All right.
Do I have to use up my whole next turn to pull out my long spear?
If you're gonna, well, if you mean the thing that you actually threw.
No, I threw the short spear because that's a ranged weapon.
Oh yeah. Then your short
On me,
spear
I have my long spear that I can use for melee.
that you can pull out as a free action.
Thanks.
Yep.
Okay.
Be back really quick.
How are y'all liking the old man voice so far?
I bet.
It somehow turned to southern. I don't know how. But...
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Very fun southern wizard.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Malcolm, I think this system hates me.
Man, I'm feeling so bad for you. I was like, I just need you to get a success here. Now I will say, you got a win because I just drew. You got number 1 on the initiative card to go first this round. So, hopefully you can be effective.
Let's see if
with
I do something.
Yeah. Couple things to remember here in where combat works in this game. What is going to say here? Like went blank.
The initiative constantly shifts stuff.
Missing conscious shift. So yes, second rounds. We're in second round of combat. We literally play new cards out. So there's always a chance where you're starting constantly last. Not like D&D where like you're the paladin and you rolled a 1. You're constantly going to be at a 1 state. The other thing is that these are goblins. What you know about certain creatures. So I'm letting you know kind of since we're going through a new system. They're not monsters. They're not considered monsters. They're considered humanoids. So anything that's a humanoid acts very much like you, meaning they can dodge, they can parry, you can parry their weapons, their kind of thing. Monsters act a little bit more robust, so they're just like you all. So this one thing to consider. The other thing is that there are sometimes the DM will throw out improvised weapons. It pretty much counts as you spotting things on the battlefield that could be used to your advantage. So when Baston comes back, or Ohan, his wolfkin is near a boulder. That boulder could be used for an acrobatics roll to jump off the boulder and throw himself at an enemy within 10 feet. Within 6 feet. So 5. So basically 1 space. and the attack would inflict 2d6 damage, bludgeoning, plus the damage bonus that cannot be dodged or parried. If it succeeds, both you and the enemy drop to the ground. If your roll fails, only you fail and you suffer the d6. So they usually come with a. So what I've done is I put a dice on the board. That's 1. This is where the boulder is. It's an improvised weapon that's on the field. You can ignore it. You don't even have to. It's just random. It's kind of randomly drawn for this scenario. The one that is closest to our mallard fellow, is the low branch. You could swing yourself because you're next to the trees from this low branch to perform a melee attack. You can make a normal move. Let's see. Oh, I think it gives you options. That's what I don't think you can do all these things. So I think you swing yourself from a lower branch and make a melee attack. You can make a normal move without triggering free attacks. The melee attack must... No, I think it's all things. The melee attack must be unarmed, but cannot be dodged or parried. So I think you can do all of this. And then if the attack fails, you fall to the ground and you do so that's the bad thing is if you fail, you take d6 damage. But if you succeed, you take an unarmed strike. You could get the damage. You get a free move out of it. So that's the chest with the low branch. And then next to the dead body where Aeldman is, there's a crevice. Actually, this one I might read it a little different. There's a crevice next to you that you could roll to trip someone if they got close enough to you. And if they trip, if you were succeed, they would fall. It's an opposed roll, but they would fall into this crevice and take 2d6. They would fall 2d6 meters and then suffer falling damage. Climbing back up would require an acrobatics roll from them. So, like I said, so you've got the crevice. Those are some of the improvised weapons that are on the board. All right. So everybody here, I think. So now starting this round with Mallard. Before the Mallard, this is supposed to trigger. What ends up happening is before you go, Mac, you hear this howl, and you look around as you're fighting this wolfman, and you realize over here where your wolfkin buddy Baston is. And so actually, by the way, you got a 1. Baston, you got 6. And Aeldman got 7. But he hears this howl, and basically what ends up happening is your 1 is replaced. So you will be going second, as the villain has replaced going first here. So now our Mallard is 2. But what you end up seeing is... where is my... As you see this howl, you all whip around, you see that there is a... Jesus, where's my... Oh. This warg kind of leaps off this mountain, off this boulder into the fray, and is attacking the wolfkin. And that will be number 1. So the first attack from this creature... I need to roll a d6. Second, I should have had that ready. We just took a break and I didn't even read up on the moves, so rusty here. So this, what you see is like a frail orc riding this warg, this big, heavy, black, kind of gray creature, leaps over, probably seeing the wolfkin as like the kind of the strongest creature to go toe to toe with, and actually it doesn't. So actually, as it leaps out, it stays here on the boulder. It does not leap down onto you, and it lets out that howl. And along with the howl, the orc throws up his sword, lets out this this rallying battle cry along with the warg, and all the underlings around him. You just kind of notice that they kind of all the goblins kind of on their the ones that are still left, even the one standing on this little pillar that is rising to the sky by our wizard, get kind of kind of jazzed up by this, as they will have boons for this round. So that's the first one. Now 2, it's on our Mac. You are up. So, and then 6. So you all know 6 is right now is Baston, and 7 is our wizard Aeon.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do a battle axe attack on the little goblin that's in front of me.
Okay.
Okay, so I got a 2.
That's a success.
Well, finally, something happens. And then...
So the damage would be your battle axe number plus your strength bonus die. So you get those 2 dice together, and that's
plus 1d4.
And they're
17.
17 damage.
Yeah.
Oh, he did. Like so. So what's the, just so I can know what's the dice? Is a D? What do you got? A D?
2d8 plus 2d4.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. So even with the little bit of armor, like the leather armor they got, it's not enough at all. So you see how quickly things can be outright killed in this game. So what does that look like as you just? I mean, I think the anger finally builds up in this little mallard as he takes this creature out. But
does it do like a Donald Duck slam?
Just like running up. Unusually quick, and then just like from under a wing just produces a
Goodbye. So you end up killing both the wolf. I mean, well, that slash cleaves through the goblin and his wolf rider as they both die and are no more. Now, of course, like in D&D, you can still move. You can still kind of say what you're doing. You can still have movement, but otherwise, that's your main action. So that was a success as you whip around and see the field here.
I'm gonna move towards Bastion.
Okay. So 10 to jump down. You have 4 movements, so it'll be like 5. So 4. So like yeah, like right there. And okay. And the creature is still up here on this rock. That's what we got going. All right, so after that's happened, let's see. 2 is our mallard. Now it's our goblins. They are going to shoot their arrows. Actually, let me make sure I'm reading this right. So I read the first time, I thought they were 7. They actually are 12 on their. They're 12 to attack, but that means still didn't help them their last time around. I think one of them might have hit, but this time, if they're shooting, their agility. Let me make sure what I need to. Scouts. Bow skills. Okay, so one of the goblins riding is going to fire a bow down at the little mallard that's running across the field for an 11. Bow skills a 12, so that will hit. Damage bonus is a D4 plus a bow, which I don't have here. I should have had that prepared. Let me see what the bow is really quick. If anybody can find it fast enough for me, Jameson, cough Jameson. You can find what the bow is. Let me know. I'm assuming it's either a D6 or maybe 2D6, but I don't. It's one of those things.
Which sort of bow?
Short bow.
D10.
D10. Okay. So I'm looking at. Okay. So I got an 8 plus D4, 10. Now your I think your armor subtracts 6 of that, right? So you take 4, if I'm not mistaken. Mac.
Yeah, I subtract 6 from that. So I take
Yep.
over.
The goblin petering on the pillar is not liking that, not getting a great shot. So he spends his turn. He's actually going to try to leap off. I'm going to make a dexterity check for him, and I'll hopefully you guys can see the roll. There are 14. He does succeed. And then he's going to set up a disadvantage shot for at the old man, Aodman. That would be a fail, and the one would have been a demon. I mean, a dragon. So he gets the fail because it was a disadvantage. So he does miss you. There we go. So that's for our. Now it is time for 5. So that would be who was 5? I think that was Baston. It was either Baston or Aodman. I had 5. You're 6.
My new number was 6. Yeah.
6. Okay, what were you, Aodman? Were you 5 or were you 7?
I was 7.
You were 7. Okay. Then 5 is my second attack on the warg has a second attack. That's what it is. So this is a monster. Monsters have ferocity, meaning they go multiple times. So he is going another time this round, and for this one, it will be spear charge. So he leaps off and goes riding at the wolfkin, sword out, kind of trying to spear you through, just kind of like trying to javelin run you through. And you're going to take... So this attack can be parried, but... Oh, yeah, so you can... So this is your choice. You can try to parry it, Baston, or you can just take the damage. Because if you parry it, you can get rid of the damage, but then that's the end of your... That will be your action.
Yeah. I'm gonna take it.
Okay. It's gonna be 9 damage.
All right.
Rah, you die here. Give us what the man was carrying. This is now the rest of your turn. Starting with our wolfkin.
I will attack. I will hit back. My long spear. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to pull my long spear out. And as he passes me, I'm going to try and hit him.
Yep. Imagine they're like both running at each other, like, you know, like a jousting session.
Yeah.
And so you know what you need to hit. You need to hit your spear number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I rolled 2 dragons. I rolled a dragon.
2 dragons. All right. I am going to give you, because you rolled 2 dragons, you rolled 2 ones?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So I'm going to give you the benefit. I'm going to give you normally pick, I'm going to give you both. So you're going to get 2 to pick 2. So when you roll a dragon, it is... Demon effects. Where's my dragon effects? Ah, damn it. You can... Let's see here. Jameson had read them through earlier. Do you see those? The dragon?
Double damage.
Yep.
Extra attack.
And then there's a third one. So you can either double the damage like in D&D, or you can take another attack, or you can make something else happen. I'll find it. But just even on those 2, for example, basically 0 double, you can take 2 of the 3. So you can take those 2 if you want. So you can do double damage to him and then take another attack if you want.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take double damage. And
But
then
I
The
need
other
to.
one is armor has no effect against the attack.
Ooh, so you can make it where his armor is
This
nullified,
effect can only be chosen if the attack deals piercing damage. Optional.
which it does.
which it does, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna get his armor.
So he
Is
gets
it in-
no armor, and then you want to attack again, or you want to do double damage and he gets no armor.
gives me-
I'll say double damage, no armor.
that-
All right.
that's right.
So you get your strength bonus damage plus the doubling of your weapon damage. So if that's 2d6, whatever it is, it's 4d6 plus the d4 or plus the d6, whatever that total number is. How many dice you're going to roll right now? And he's getting nothing minus from it.
So wait, so I got the two
Okay,
d8s.
so you got two d8s which from your weapon. So you're going to get 4 d8s.
Okay.
Yep. I guess they say double damage, so it's probably roll 2d8s and then double it. But we can do it. It's however we can do it like D&D, where you can choose. You can either roll the 2d8s and double it, or you can if you like to roll more dice, I'll allow you to roll 4d8s.
I'm just gonna roll the two.
You can choose.
Double it.
Okay, and then you'll just double those, and then you're gonna give me and then give me your extra damage. Which your extra damage is for you, it's a D4, and
Is that?
and that would be double. That would be double too.
Alright.
So you could roll the D4 and then double the D4 and then roll the 2 D8s and then double those. It's a massive hit. It's like this boss comes out and you just 20?
20.
Jeez. So they go flying by, and he misses. He clearly misses you. And where do you think you place the spear? Is it in the wolf? Like where do you go for the wolf to knock them off or do you go?
No.
Here's the thing. Narratively, when I say go for the wolf, they're one and the same. They're sharing hit points.
Yeah.
So
So
narratively,
basically, I'm basically just gonna turn the side, and his person is gonna cut my chest, but like that, I'm just gonna have my spear out and just gonna shish kebab the guy on top and let the wolf.
so the wolf goes running by, which is not even a wolf; it's a ward. But yeah, like this kind of like nasty, deranged looking. The ward kind of looks like a dire wolf, but the proportions are slightly off. The back is arched too much. It looks a bit malnourished. And it's got these like massive fangs and these under fangs that like hang on the bottom. So
okay, so it's not just a wolf. Okay, yeah. So I'll probably shish kebab the thing that's riding on that.
no, I wasn't. I was just giving you narrative.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to eat
Yeah.
you.
But actually, because of the way it looks, like it's different now. The way I feel about it's different. Because before I pictured it as a wolf.
Give me a second. Here. Lately, I've been Jesus.
You okay?
Yeah. Have you ever had that it's like the back of your throat is dry, it's like a tickle? And if you try to talk over it, you just fucking have a coughing fit?
Yeah.
That's what's happening to me lately.
You need a minute? You want to take 5 minutes?
Yeah, I just need a minute. I just can't talk. So my daughter got sick. Ever since I've had a kid, I'm getting sick all the time. Just like all the time.
Yeah. Wait till she goes to school.
She's in like nursery school, so
Oh, so yeah.
5
yeah.
days a
That's
week.
how it
So
goes.
every time she gets something, I get it.
It slows down after like a couple of years, I think.
Whatever this
Right.
last thing she got, it's like I just had like a lot of phlegm in the morning and stuff, so not to give you guys too much, but other than that, it's like this dry tickle, and it just gets me. If it like catches me, I just throws me into like a dry cough, and water doesn't fix it. I just needed to like stop talking for a second. So you see, my voice is like can't even get it out. So as a DM, it's like literally like Achilles' heel. It's like she's like destroying me.
I'd say maybe something thicker, maybe some warm water or some tea.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe lemon. We have a lemon tree, so that's been great. I've been drinking a lot more tea, but comes out of nowhere. Talk amongst yourself for a second. We'll just take like a 2-minute.
Sure, yeah, man.
But you damn near, this guy is like on his like, you just like wrecked him. Like, if you stab the beast, you stab the beast. He flies off of it. He lands in the snow. The ward drops dead, and this, orc begins to like, kind of try to pick himself out of the snow. And what you realize is that when you skewer the ward, you pierce his side, so he's bleeding too. He's looking tough, but he's holding that blade up and trying to bring it up. His blood's kind of starting to cough as he's starting to cough and pour blood out of his mouth. Ailman, you're up.
Alrighty. Can we go back to that map, please? Where's that goblin that jumped down? He's kind of hidden behind the terrain.
Yeah, if I go up high enough. He is right. Oh yeah, he's on this side. So he's hard for you to see. But I'll just push this down. I'll say he's right here.
And I'm gonna try. Hit him with a fireball. As they throw a little shot of fireball at him.
Nice. Go ahead and make your check.
That's 2.
That's gonna succeed.
For fireball, that's 20 meters to hit. And that's just 2d6 for 7 damage.
Okay.
And I don't know if you consider a goblin a flammable object, but it does set fire to flammable objects.
Alright, I will not consider him a flammable object, but all purposes he is burned. With the amount of hit points he has, he is burned alive and dead. That goblin goes up in flames. As it burns away.
Yep, should have stayed on the tower.
Good shit.
Then I'll move behind the rock. You got this, man.
This rock.
Yep. Pretty much, I don't want the orc seeing me.
You guys are doing really well in this actually first combat. Like the first time, I have run Dragon Bane one other time, and the first group almost got mollywop. They almost died. So good stuff. Okay.
And then this one, almost you're dead.
Yeah. These bad guys are getting their ass handed to them. All right, so here's what we'll do. Actually, give you guys a little more agency. Roll a d10. We'll do it like that, and we'll just eliminate. That way, you feel like you get your numbers because it's different when you're at a table where I can pass the cards out. So that'll feel like you're kind of like D&D. You're rolling your
6.
but you're looking to roll number. You roll low. So, yep. So Mac got 6, so he's gonna be 6 for now.
7.
Dang, yeah. So
I
Nailed
rolled 7 too.
So if you roll a 7, you can't. So you got to re-roll. He rolled 7 first, so you got to re-roll 7.
I rolled 7 first, so I
Do you? Actually, I mean, if you both roll a 7, you can re-roll it like tie-offs to see who gets lower.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be good.
2.
Ah,
Okay.
you won.
All right, so Edelman's going 2. What'd you get? God, that voice. Yeah, it's probably a little thin. What'd you get? best on this. I guess if your second roll is lower, it'll stand, but if it's higher, it'll stay at 7.
Yeah, it did get up lower. I had a 3.
Okay, so 2 and 3.
Cool.
So 2, 3, and 6. And then we're going to roll for the one goblin that's left and for the orc who is slowly standing, or not roll, but initiative 5 for the goblin. All right, geez, just bad. An 8 and a 10 for the orc. He still gets 2, 2, but he's dead last. So, with our 2, who was that? You can react.
You're missing.
I mean, I rolled a 2 on the roll off, but
Then that's it. Oh, yeah, you 2. So when you rolled a 2, when everybody was rolling a D10 and you rolled a 2, I thought you were. That means you were going first, basically.
no, I rolled a 7. But then when I rolled off, I rolled a 2.
You're still going before me because with the new rolls,
You got 2, 3.
I'm at 3.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
You're
so
first
start-
up this time, yeah. So this like broken orc is like looking, and as he stands there with his like kind of holds his like his blade in his hand, it's kind of haggard, kind of almost like a giant sword that looks like a rusty butcher knife. He looks over towards one of the small goblins on the hill and says they've got like these strange like tattoos on their arms, you guys have noticed, and then like these red kind of like face markings on their faces. He looks at one of the goblins that's left and says, "Okuda, Lagrassi," like tells him something, and that goblin like shakes his head with a tear in his eye. Hildman, you're up.
see, do I want to fireball the orc or the goblin?
Your choice.
You know what? I respect Bane, so I'm not gonna steal his kill in his honorable combat, which I'm sure Max is gonna go do instead. So I will fireball the goblin for an 8, which will hit.
We'll hit. All right, and damage will be
11.
Yeah, that goblin's dead. So, with all this, how much willpower do you have left as you've been casting your spells? I'm only asking to like kind of get an understanding like the game, how much where you're at.
Yeah, that's cost 6.
Okay.
So I've got about 12 left.
Okay. It's just a lot, quite a bit. All right. So spells, clearly magic is really strong. It could go, unlike D&D, if you were to roll a demon, it could go haphazard, a little crazy.
That's because all the spells I'm using are rank 1 spells, so they only cost 2 willpower per.
2 willpower, yeah.
But the higher rank spells cost more and more.
And I think you can parry the spell, but you gotta be. I think you gotta be able to. None of my creatures can do it. None of them have the ability. So.
Yeah, as well as it says that metal has magic neutralizing properties, so I can't wear.
That's why you
armor,
can't
build any shields,
Yeah.
weapons.
I thought that was interesting. Yeah, that's why they keep you from wearing it or using it.
They don't like the tank mage build.
So then, all right. So then, you want to? I'm sure you're kind of just staying there behind that. As that wolf tried to run off, you see like they kind of leap off the mountain to go into the brush, and you see wherever they're leaping to, just boom, kind of boom, black smoke goes up, the trees shake, and then that little, and it's just black smoke slowly turning to white as you realize that Aeldman is a powerhouse here with as he weaves his magic. This moves us to number 3, who I think was our wolf kind, if I'm not mistaken. All right, you're up. And our goblin, who was 5, is now dead. so yeah, it's pretty much you all. And then if this guy's still alive, So
Is this just the last goblin?
it's just one last orc. Like this kind of frail orc has just kind of stood up here, and he's just kind of holding his own. And he just looked up and called to that goblin to like kind of like send a message back, and he just got torched. So now he's just looking at you like, all right. Well, he's clearly not running. Like he holds his ground, his morale, and he.
All right. I mean, I'm gonna first, test him, see if he'll run by just like growling menacingly at him. And as I realize that he's not going to run, then I start barking and rush him with my spear.
You got it.
All right. So rolling against my spear. I missed. Failed.
You could also moment where you could push if you want to and take a condition.
Yeah, okay.
Also, this combat has been going really well for you all, but also another thing to note in the future, you can also spend a round if you're like terribly hurt to rest. It's called a round rest, where you can get 1d6 worth of willpower and 1d6 worth of hit points back. Everyone can kind of do it. So it's kind of like everyone has, what's that ability for the fighters in D&D? You kind of have that...
second wind.
Second wind.
For the round rest, it's only willpower. No
it's just willpower, no hit points. Sorry, maybe you're right. So it's just willpower. So you can kind of push willpower. And then if you take a shift rest, like 15 minutes, you can get willpower and 1d6 hit points, right? Okay. All right. Also, this is also cool in this game too. When you're dying, when you're taking death saves, you can make a roll to get up on your feet and keep fighting while you're making your death saves, which is pretty cool. It's like a push through roll. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna push.
All right.
So that means I re-roll, right?
Yes, sir. You roll with advantage, and then so you get advantage. You get boom. And then you have to decide, you have to also tell me before you roll which one of the conditions are you going to take, and role play through the attack while you're taking that condition.
Okay. Okay.
Which one are you
so
taking? Okay.
I want to take Dazed.
Okay.
So, yeah, because I just took a massive hit from the last guy and then killed him, and now I'm rushing another guy all over again. So I feel like I'd just be dazed from that.
Okay.
So I rolled a 2 to hit.
Yep, that's gonna hit him.
Oh, nice. I rolled an 11 damage.
All right. Even with his armor, how do you what do you think? How do you think you finish this orc off? We have to kind of see it in this like challenge style,
Yeah. I really just picture Basson going at it, Predator style, and as he's rushing him, he's lowered to the ground, and as he comes up, he slashes for the neck again.
And it's as he sees you go low, he swings low and you kind of faint, and then his blade digs deep into the ice, causing it to stick and him to slide, and your short spear to come up, driven right into his, like you said, into the neck. As he eyes roll back, bloodshot, and the orc dies there on your spear. So you look around. The wind is blowing the trees slightly, moving. Those beautiful snowflakes still falling on this cold land. That body there, and this newfound map, and this new acquired artifact that that Mac has found. All is clear. You also have your hunting kill. What are you all doing?
My wounds.
Yeah,
Right.
everyone seems good. So good shit. You
My
guys didn't
feet are
get touched.
slowly slinking into the snow below me as I'm just like radiating heat from being angry.
I'm gonna pick up a goblin corpse to take back.
Okay.
That's gonna fully encumber me.
Mhm.
Like, alright, I'm gonna grab a goblin. One of y'all can grab the man. One of y'all grab the deer. Might be able to do some negotiating.
Now, I'm only sharing this also just to think about, since we're playing a different system, to kind of give you options to think about, like we normally do in D&D. You did take the stuff off this man, but there is also. Do you want to investigate further his body, the corpse, any of the corpses that you've killed? Kind of talking through what you're doing to see if there's anything else here.
Well, Bastard is just following his nose as he goes over a lot of the bodies just to see if he can smell anything that he finds valuable on them that he can use.
Okay. Best on, and you do it just for the mostly the orc and the goblins.
Yeah, pretty much.
And this would be a where's my investigation? It's a so funny. I thought there was an investigate, but there's really not. There's a beast lore buffing, crafting, evade. It would probably be a spot. It's called spot hidden.
Oh, I see that. Ooh, I suck at that too.
Give me a boon to spot hidden.
Sure. You gotta beat a 5. What?
Anyone can do a spot hidden as
I
well.
rolled 2 dragons.
Oh shit. Okay. Jeez, you and the 2 dragons. I don't know what the dice you're using tonight. I got
I know. I seriously, I do. Yeah, I'm gonna save these dice here.
You find.
Don't use them for regular D&D because
Yeah, right. You be rolling one.
Since I'm angry, I have to
D&D, but I
roll.
rock at this game.
I have to roll with Bane, but it was a 1 and an 18.
Bane,
So I got
wait.
18.
I
Okay.
rolled just a 12. That's a pass for me.
It's a pass. I'm sorry, Mac. You see this.
Play the wizard next time. He's got all the skills.
What I will say is, I mean, this is one of those situations where even though Mac didn't necessarily, with you getting double ones, you guys pretty much found everything that there was to find. And so, what you find is, it's mostly, mostly our wolfkin who is finding these things on the bodies is, can you actually, this is interesting. Can you roll a d6 for me, Baston?
Yeah. Roll the 5.
That's insane. That's insane.
Is that good?
You found you found perfume.
Oh, yeah!
A bottle of perfume. I used a random card, and it's a trade goods card, and perfume was on there. You got the perfume, so within that range.
You know, if I would have gotten this in any other situation, even if it was really for my wife, I'd be disappointed.
Right.
One time, I'm really
One bottle of
upset I got
perfume. You all, as you're kind of like going through, picking through the bodies and bringing them together, you also find a gemstone. Actually, can I have Mac? You find this. Can you roll a d6?
3.
Okay. It appears to be, find an emerald worth about 10 gold pieces.
I eat it.
Good luck getting that one on the other side. Somebody's got
no.
to.
Do we have the chicken from Wakanda?
And then Everything else you find, I think. So you, Archmage Aelden, you find a silver ring. It's worth four silver. So note that it's a silver ring, small. This is between all of you. You also all find a gold or a chalice that is worth 12 gold. That was on their gear, and then a silver brooch, and that brooch is worth. Oh, I'm sorry. I said that chalice was worth 12. It's worth. So that would have been. I did the math wrong. So it would have been worth 30. It would have been worth 30 gold, and then you find a brooch that is worth 10 silver coins. Okay, so that's everything that was found. In addition, rolling 2 dragons. As you look over the body, whoever this, you've now heard this name, Leonara, and you'd think back to him, his last dying words and telling you to go to Outskirts, and you know that is the village that you're trying to head to. So whoever this Leonara is, she will be, hopefully she's there. And then there's this interesting reference to the Dragon Emperor, right, which Aelman knows from some lore about. That seems to kind of stick in your mind. As well as you also find, or Wolfkin finds that on the back of the head of the dead man, there's a black symbol branded into his neck. I'll take a advantaged myth. Actually, who's skilled in myth and legends and lore? Is it you, Aelman?
Yep.
You can give me an advantage, myth, legends, and lore. If anyone has a 14 or higher in it, you can also take a boon check on this.
That'll be a 3.
Okay, so you note this sign as you see it on the dead man's body to be this black burn symbol of Sathmog, and you know that Sathmog is a demon kind of lord that is worshipped in different parts, in different lands, but one that is like, it's one of those old cults that like hasn't been talked about for ages. You haven't seen this symbol in a long time. Kind of thought people had kind of forgotten about this, you know, like this. It's almost like worshiping gods that don't even really answer prayers, or this demon that doesn't seem very active. But you do see that sign.
And does that look like something that was put on him, which may have led to his death, or is it like a tattoo that he would have had to show his fate?
That part you don't know. Whether he was in someone's custody and they gave him this brand, or he willingly accepted. Was he a cultist who follows Sathmog? Or was he maybe at one time a prisoner who was branded this way? That you don't know. But something to consider and definitely think about.
I guess been marked by a Sathmog cult.
The demon lord?
Yeah, that real old one. Didn't know they were still worshiping that crusty fucker, but apparently.
What?
I hear you. Hold on, wait.
Quack, I hear you.
Yeah, no, I don't hear him, but I'm like, I hear
You're
him.
just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I hear you.
I wish I could understand everything he says, but I only pick up.
You get the tone. You understand the tone.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, great.
I rolled a 10, so I understand.
Hey.
Like, damn, they're wilding out here.
Yeah,
What is-
things seem pretty tame.
So,
Yeah, Aonin understands what you're saying and chooses to ignore it.
At this moment, the veil has, it's been so cold. The wind kind of lets up. The snow's still falling, but the clouds kind of part. And what you realize is that maybe a couple 100 feet out, you're kind of on a bluff or like an edge of the mountain. And so as those clouds part, you can, you get the moment that in these parts, it's always misty, but sometimes the misty allows to like kind of opens up and gives you a view of what's beyond. And there's these radiant glow of the it's not really it's more of a setting sun, because you guys have been traveling all day, but enough of that light is piercing through here late in the day for you to see the valley down below, and beyond the forest at the bottom of the mountain you see a little village out there that way. Now you also have got this new trinket, this treasure. You also know that you got to hike back a couple hours to get to the troll to honor your word. And Paul, you're so tired. Part of you is like, do we just kind of like head down the mountain? Maybe we just go towards the leave the troll behind, or do you go back and honor your word, or do you camp and then go back later to, give the troll camp maybe and then go back? Up to you. Just some things to consider in terms of your space.
well, the way I see it is that we never passed his house where we needed to go, so we don't have to give him payment for that yet. We don't owe him anything until we need to. Yeah.
You found the loophole of, we didn't go the proper path. We went through the mountains.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the ogre didn't say which way we had to go in order to have to pay him for it. Was it that way or was it this way? I mean, there was no bridge. Part of me was like, let's walk around him. But I don't know. I mean, do we need to go past his house again to get to the Vale? Or do we keep going and is that the direction of the Vale? Do we know? Because we have the map now.
You do have a map now, clearly. You have a map you can consult, one. Two, you also now have a view, a line of sight, even just momentarily, of where you're going. And so I guess what I was kind of sharing is you could just go and leave the troll behind and hope that Bagatha just waits for you, leave her waiting. Or you honor your word and you hike back and you give her the... So you got options.
I'm gonna look up at both of them, quack, and then just slowly start waddling towards the village.
To be honest, I agree with him right there, because I mean if we need to go back, we'll bring him a deer.
Do you take any of the meat from the? Do you take any of the meat with you?
Yeah, yes. Well, yeah.
For your own rat.
Because we're not going back to the ogre. If we're going to go back to the ogre, then we'll bring him. We'll try to remember to bring him some meat first or whatever. But for this, since we're not going back to the ogre, I'm taking the veal and any other rations that anybody has, because Baston has his weakness is gluttonous, and I take any chance I get to eat something tasty. So I'm gonna be the guy to persuade to just take the veal and any ration for us.
You also could camp.
Try some charred goblin.
You also have been like, do you just start marching, or is there any? Do you want to set up any kind of camp and like cook some of that veal and eat? Because here's what I'm saying is, like, I'm not trying. If Bagatha is actually waiting for you, then you sitting down and camping to eat shouldn't change anything about you delivering the food. So it's not like she should be hunting you right now. She's expecting you to honor your word. So are you kind of on a... Well, I guess what I'm asking is, are you on a rush? Sounds like Mac's like, I'm going now. Like, even on my little tired little, duck feet. Or are you guys kind of like, man, we've had a long day. We just got to get into a fight. What is... Because what I'm saying is, game-wise, you guys are good. Mechanics are great. But game-wise, narratively, you guys are being exhausted right now. Should be.
So then, you're right. Actually, because for Baston, half his hit points are gone.
Whose hit points?
Half of Baston's hit points.
Oh, you get okay.
He got hit bad.
Oh, he did get hit. He get hit. Yeah.
He got hit bad. So because I told him he got slashed right here, and then he hit him.
So 15-minute rest could get you D6 plus D6 willpower. If someone chooses to forego, anyone can do that. If someone helps you with a healing check during that time, you can get 2d6, but they get no rest. But if they're 100%, it's a great way to like trade off. Something to consider.
Yeah, I could do the medicine.
Yeah, so you can take a short rest.
Let me take a look at you.
Don't use the cream that stings. Don't.
All right, on the count of 3, I'm gonna apply the cream. Applied.
I don't know how to count. You can't do that. That's not fair.
So you don't need to make any checks. You just get that. So you're gonna get 2d6 plus 1d6 willpower. Everybody's gonna get the will. What's that?
It does say you need to make a healing check.
You do need to make the healing check. Okay.
So do I do it?
Let's just play it as will. I would think.
I do it.
Yeah, I would think
And
the
I rolled
activation.
It's out of Bane because we don't have any bandages.
Yep, you guys need to play.
So, but I got a 14 and I need a 14.
Jesus.
All right.
James is on a roll. Mac's struggling today. It's like, this is crazy. Like, I don't think you've missed any checks.
Mac is just doing what Mac does. I think he's.
But I will say, I'm enjoying Mac the most tonight in Kid It's a great little character.
Only for a one shot. This would get. I'm gonna go get tiring so fast.
To be fair,
I think if Matt continues to grow and he goes from quacking to like talk to this, I kind of understanding that everyone understands what the quacks mean, and then you start expressing it more. It could get interesting as you.
But I would also want to reveal like towards the end of the campaign, just be like, he speaks fluent common.
And just been doing this to everybody the entire time. Just be so shady.
See, that was,
but he's like, I actually just wanted to see to make sure that I build my language.
Why should I speak your language?
Yeah. I decided to make you learn mine.
The funny part was that I kind of was wondering about that during the game, which is why I played off Baston as just playing it straight, like he understands, like yeah, okay, no problem, because he didn't want to, like, he's not just gonna look at him and go quack. So
oh, I wish you would. It'd be so funny.
Just quack.
Well, if we play again, then there's always an opportunity.
Yeah, but also, to be fair, every single role I've had, like, we've done awareness, beast lore, bushcraft, now healing, language, myths and legends. Those are all the skills I have.
That you have, so you've been really,
I know, like mine is like all over the place too. And it's like I tracked my my dragon to just spot hidden and then spears.
Yeah, but if I would have gotten hit by the orc, I would have been down.
Oh no, I see.
I only got 11 hit points.
Yeah, which was another reason why I stood my ground. I was like, I'm sure I'll survive this.
Literally, all I have is attacks.
I thought 5e wizards were squishy. This is something else.
This is how they used to be. This is how they should be. What I'd like to know is, as you guys are about to head out, who's going to be your pathfinder going down the mountain? Who leads the group? Like, in terms of bushcraft checks, who's the pathfinder?
I've got a 14 bushcraft.
You better have a 14. Wait, actually, how do you have a 14 and
I have a 5.
Because bushcraft is an intelligence skill.
Yeah.
He understands it. But getting down there's a different story.
Yeah, that's the acrobatics arm at a 5.
I mean, Malcolm. I mean, the dude, Baston, poor guy, lost an eye. Okay, he can't see very well, so he's not too. If you ask him to hunt for something, he'll fucking find that shit, you know. But when it comes to just like knowing what's around him, he's getting there.
And so, as they head down the mountain, any last remarks from these three as they kind of begin their journey, or do they, because they sound like they've kind of taken a short rest and decided to kind of push on, as because no one's stopping Little Mac from kind of continuing on. So, yeah.
So what was the outcome of the healing? How many hit points did I get?
Oh, did you roll?
You need to roll 2d6.
You got to roll it 2d6.
I rolled that. Okay, I rolled it here. I got a 3, so I got 3 back. Thank you, sir.
And I think everyone else
2d6.
Rolled a 1 and a 2.
Yeah.
Jeez. And then the rest of you should have gotten a. Well, actually, let me make a roll. I'm not even gonna make you do that because if nothing happens, then you're all safe. So. Within a day and a half, you all travel, kind of montaging Lord of the Rings style down this mountain, taking some
super slowly because I don't want to break my hip.
Yes, there's like a shot of the old man, like as Mac is like waddling and hopping from rock to rock, and as our wolf kid is kind of like scampering. Aelden's like, "Can you guys hold up? Give me a second." Like here, it's kind of like slowly pacing that staff.
I kind of still picture Baston as like walking alongside, trying to be that like service dog kind of teammate.
This is the still like image that I see as like the end credits are showing a roll of like you're helping the wizard down, and then like Mac is just like staring at like a bug on a rock.
There's a shot of Bagatha coming out of her as it's getting late, looking around, kind of kicking some bones on the ground in the snow. Like, God damn it, they cheated me. And then on an early morning, we kind of see you all have like made it to the bottom of the mountain, and what we see is like as the sun is rising, it lights up the pathway to a very quaint little shanty town, with a makeshift wooden spike wall around it. You're not even close enough to see the guards yet, but you know that you've made it down the treacherous mountain. And down here, it's still early winter, so it's like just scattered snow, dead trees, but it's almost kind of beautiful. The air is really crisp, and of course there is a lot of that mist here to the Misty Vale. And as you know, even though you can see the sun rising, you know soonly that veil will cover up and the skies will be gray again. And you come across a little town sign that says Outskirts, and it says, "Welcome to the Outskirts. Drink from our tankards, eat from our bowls, but honor the dead that walk by our sides." And where that sign is, here in the early morning, right behind it is a small, pretty decent sized graveyard. Like, no one says, and what's strange is, there are just a scattered maybe 8 different places throughout that graveyard. They like people walking. At first you think they're like kind of going to visit, but you realize they're kind of like just zombies, just undead, walking amongst the graves. And one of them is kind of like, suddenly you see one of them kind of like within 20 feet of you, pale eyes that have been dead for a long time, like just paper thin skin, doesn't even pay any attention to you. For a second does, and then saunters off almost like an old person without, who's lost kind of a lot of the memory, and they just move on.
God, it's Joe Biden.
Jesus.
And that's what you see. And so, any thoughts, anything that they share after seeing that, like, and reading what the sign says?
I'm surprised Mallard doesn't do a quack that's like, hey, old man, this is where you're going to be.
Quack.
And so, if that's it, we kind of watch them kind of saunter off. A little waddle from our duck friend, the very light but very confident steps of the wolfkin, and the kind of hobbled step at a time from the very frail but powerful old man who's on those three legs, as they make their way towards the outskirts. And as they approach the village, as they kind of like move off into the distance, we allow, instead of fading to black, we allow the mist to slowly close in and end tonight's session. Thank you for...
Yeah, he definitely walks a little hunched over.
Good game for your first playthrough of... hope you guys enjoyed. That was Dragon Bane. That was a very, very, very basic session. A lot more to explore if we're to continue, but yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely had fun. Thank you.
I like how there's no math.
Yeah, it's just role playing without all the crunch, you know.
I really liked it a lot.
There's a few like oppose rolls where you got to kind of roll against someone and whoever's rolling lower, but for the most part, yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I'd love to play it again. I think there's some things I like about it, some things I have some pros and cons, but for the most part, these are the kind of games that I really like, can really lean into. If you love role playing, they just allow you to do so much, you know, kind of lean into the thought of things that you love about role playing. But yeah.
And because all the attacks are so basic, you gotta describe more what you're doing.
Yes. And even in the book, I'll send the beta to you now that you all have. Well, actually, I did. You guys all have it now, but you can even like come up with spells. This is like the perfect system if you want to be super creative and you don't want to be hampered by. Between a DM, like you can come up with spells. But the way you learn spells, you have to find them in the tome, or you have to be taught them by someone. So you never really level up to find your spells. So I will say, with a bad DM, someone who's a spellcaster might find themselves hampered because, like, as they quote unquote level up, it's kind of that's the only thing that's kind of broken about the game, is it's at the DM's discretion to like make it like you got to find your spells in dungeons and stuff. You're not just gonna you're not gonna kill enough monsters and then level up your spells. So for someone like Ailman, you're gonna be constantly being like, hey DM, is there somebody in this town that I can talk to? Who's the wise person? Or, you know, how do I learn things? If I see a spell cast, can I try to like mimic it? But that's kind of like the art of it. It's a conversation, you know. It leans on that idea that you got to trust at the table for everybody to have the conversation to figure out what they want from the game. But yeah, so now the question is, would Cheryl play it or would she hate it?
I think it's close
She'll
enough to
like it just 'cause
D&D
it's more
that
roleplay
Cheryl,
heavy,
yeah.
less math.
I also think it's close enough to D&D that Cheryl will enjoy it.
Yeah.
That she'll be willing to try, which is so
Well,
funny
that's
because she loves kids on bikes.
Yeah.
She took the chance to learn that system, but I don't know.
She trusts you though, so yeah, you guys took it. But yeah, I think it's also that weird thing where like you can try other systems, but your fantasy system, some people's fantasy system, is like supposed to be D&D, and it's like it can't like change that. So this could be a. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, like you guys wrecked it. I can't believe only you know, Baston got hurt, and even then, like you killed the guy like before he even got like a shot. Because the monsters are pretty nasty. So I'll be super open. Like you know, I don't always like to reveal what's behind the screen, but just so you can understand as the game goes forward, or as we like future play. For example, the creature. Let me find it here. kind of you one-shotted essentially like the strongest creature that I had, but that Wolf Rider has a ferocity of 2, meaning that if I would have got like maybe a 1, like they're gonna go twice in a round. He's gonna go twice in a round. He's got a movement of 20. He's got, so the thing is, HP was pretty low on this creature, 24, but had multiple. So with 2 attacks, a pounce would have done 2d8 damage. A swing from, if he swings with the blade from above, it would leap over you, and he would leap over you and then swing and do 3d6 damage. He had a ravenous howl that when the warg raises his head to the sky, lets out this famished howl. All player characters within 10 meters make a will roll to resist fear, so you would have to make a fear check. He's got the battle cry, which you saw him do. And he's got the warg bite, which is pretty nasty. The warg bite grabs a victim. You're automatically like grappled. You're grabbed. And then he starts to drool and swing you from side to side. You take 2d10 piercing damage. And then the victim is hurled 2d4 meters away and lands prone, taking the same thing as falling damage from the throw. And then, because you think about how much hit points you all have, these are pretty nasty damages that could have been laid out if I roll really high. Spear charge. If the spear charge, if it hits you, do 3d8 piercing damage. That can be parried. That was one that tried. So yeah, not like a Tiamat or anything, but pretty scary if things go wrong. It could get really crazy.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can really see
and that's like the basic of bosses, right? It's like you just like 2d8s, 2d10s that early in a game where you got like 19 hit points. It's pretty crazy because you did like 2d8 plus 4 and you like mopped him like he was done.
Yeah, it was a Dragon Ball.
But I kind of like, that's what I love, because when I watch Lord of the Rings, when I watch these like the things when I read books, like boss fights it's a back and forth tussle, and then somebody gets skewered and the bad guy just dies. But what makes it epic is the moments leading up to getting the attack, getting that hit on the bad guy, right? Like, so I kind of like that, It feels like things are dangerous, but then when you're winning, you don't feel like you're winning because you're high level. You feel like you're winning because you guys are really rolling fucking really well on your dice. The initiative is coming out right. Everything's on your side, and you just got it, Like, all my goblins were regulars like you. They had like 9 hit. They're like D&D. They have like 9 hit points. D&D, they have 7. They had to roll like 12s or under, or 10 or under to even hit. So yeah.
So high for this game.
Yeah, you were just rolling. I just felt so bad. Like, and I've seen you roll way lower in D&D.
Fucking on that attack, I almost rolled. I think I was 3 points shy of rolling max damage.
Jeez, that's crazy. That's great. It could, yeah. That, and I feel like that's probably I feel like if there's the one thing that turns somebody from this game is coming into it and then rolling a bunch of high numbers and you're like, fuck this, like, But roll all your dice at home. Do your dice, your superstition. Find all those dice that roll low and be like Dragon Bane. Just mark them Dragon Bane. Like, these are all my Dragon Bane dice.
I was just thinking about that. I gotta do that with my dice right now.
Yeah, everybody's got those dice that roll low. You'd be like, ooh, these are my Dragon Bane dice.
Well, I had a lot of fun playing.
I'm glad you guys had fun. Hopefully, and I wanted to just break it up because I didn't want to play. I was ready to run D&D, but I didn't. I knew Cheryl's not ready, so like, I want to kind of, if we can, and if she needs a little more time, if you guys want to continue to play this, we can continue the story until we go back to, it's up to you. You always let me know. Talk in the chat. Let me know if you want to try something else. But if so, we can continue. If you like it now and you want to rebuild like the same character, or just rebuild a new character and act like kind of retcon that like you're another character coming into the town alongside Aeldman, you're welcome to do that, so that you can play in a character that you like, and we can go from there. So you can choose your profession, your kin, and it's basically, it's fairly straightforward. You've got like the only professions that are weird are like the merchant. I've always wondered how you'll play that. Like, the races are only elf, mallard, wolfkin, human, dwarf, and halfling. That's it. I also will allow wolfkin to be if you like cats, you can make it a tabaxi. basically, and play it the same way. Then professions, you've got fighter, hunter, mage, knight, merchant, mariner, thief, scholar. And you do know that if you do choose, your character will be a little different, because when you start to build the characters, there are some choices that are slightly different from the choices that they made for your pre-made characters or whatever. Yeah. But and I also just love the art of the game. I feel like the art really evokes like the world it's in, and how it looks and everything. So yeah. But other than that, yeah, thanks for trying it.
Thanks for running.
a lot of fun.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun trying, and of course, I'll get better at it if we continue to play it. I don't play it often, so all my rustiness, and also I haven't even been running. Man, I feel rusty just because we haven't been running games lately. Now I'm getting back into it. I'm excited to be back at the table finally.
Malcolm, if you have a chance, you definitely should join Nick's Cypher game.
Yeah,
Cypher Stealth game. Oh, it was so much fun.
when was the last game? It was Mondays or
No, we did Sunday evening, like 2 weeks ago.
he wants me to try it, so let me hit him up and tell him. Because I don't think he let me know the first time, but I was dealing with too much. I'm probably in a better place to probably get a game in.
Mm-hmm. I really like it.
You really like it. Okay,
I
so
really like it.
see, so you're
Our game is pretty fun. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I
like it because
are you playing in a sci-fi? What world is his world? Is it kind of? It feels like it's kind of a catch-all for all.
It's kind of like a 1920s period
Okay.
game, but it's a little fantasy.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, it's like a fantasy, supernatural
Yeah,
kind of world. It's
I gotta try it again.
It's a little noir kind of vibes.
Yeah.
I gotta try it because Jason has heard good things about it from Jason, and now you all.
It runs really smoothly.
That's
Like,
good.
especially for something that we were kind of all like iffy in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's actually really good to hear. I actually thinking really positively of that because, yeah, I think did he send me the? I don't know if he sent me. He said you all have the PDF of it. Can somebody send me the rulebook?
Yeah, I have a PDF for it. I can send it to
Yeah, I
you.
got mine.
There's a lot of
not-
like themed like genre books for it too. So if you
Yeah,
want to run a fantasy for
you can
it,
run
it's a fantasy.
If you ran fantasy, would you run a cipher system, or would?
I would want to try it.
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
Okay. That's
Yeah,
actually.
but when you said create your own spells, I immediately was thinking of all the mean, like unethical spells, like I cast testicular torsion. All those ones.
That's why in the book it says it has to be worked out with your dungeon master. They have to approve it, all that stuff. It's got to be the right table. Find your table.
It's like, well, that still doesn't work because the lich took him off.
Yeah, it's like this lich has no balls. That would be great to cast. And the lich just like, ha ha ha! I lost my balls 500 years ago.
They're not attached to my body. It is my phylactery. Ha.
Yeah, we-